Tonight on Lowdown, we'll be heading downtown to check out a local business. We'll be attending a couple of Valentine's Day events and head over to the Elliott Student Union for an event held for the late Kobe Bryant. All that and more coming up next. Hello and welcome to Lowdown, a show hosted by the students at the University of Central Missouri in Warrensburg. I'm Stephen Holstein. Thanks for joining us today as we continue to dive into all the cool things happening here at UCM. Speaking of love is in the air, let's take a look at a couple of Valentine's Day events held recently here on campus.
The Valentines Day Bully, it was just a free event for all students just to have fun with their friends, bowl, celebrate Valentine's Day if they don't have anybody to celebrate it with. It was, I want to say, SGA who put it on, and it was free of charge and just a good cause for like people who don't have loved ones or Valentines to like spend time with each other. And then there was like food, and then you can win prizes and stuff. They had bottle openers, they had like towels that had the Union Bowling on it, and then they had like mugs, and they had balloons for people to take as well, and then they had water bottles. Oh, the sugar cookies, they were one of my favorites and stuff. They were sugar cookies from Sodexo, and then you can put like icing, red or white on it, and then you can like put some sprinkles on them. Just decorate them however you wanted to. Like, it was really fun. Me and my friends, we were a big group and stuff, so we was all just playing around. But then when it was time to bowl, we were like very competitive. But it was actually really fun. The music was good. Like, I really like how it was like kind of glow in the dark some, or neon lights. And it was like just really fun. The way they set it up actually was really cool. I like the decorations because it shows that it was for Valentine's Day. Just some of the things they did, from like the colors of the frosting on the cookies to like the hearts on the balloons and stuff. And like the color of the towels that you could win, it was just like you could tell it was for Valentine's Day. That love was in the air. Yeah, I would really recommend it if they were to do it again. And like, you saw people, some people you knew that were with their friends, some people you didn't know, but you could see that they were having such a good time with friends. And then some people, they would like ask to like join their lane and stuff, and it was like they were becoming friends, they were talking, so it makes it like known that people want to go to these things more often. I like how late it was, because like I was able to still go about my day and stuff, and I had to like set out a whole bunch of time to come to this event and stuff. And then I like how long it was too, even though I didn't stay the whole entire time. I will say the bowling, because like I don't like to spend money that much, so being able to bowl for free, because I do really love bowling, it was really fun. Most of the people like don't want to spend money on bowling, because it's usually like 1 or 2 games, and you're spending maybe, I want to say like $6 or $8 maybe. So having it free and stuff, like it gives them a way to actually get out of their dorm rooms and like take a break from studying and like school, work, and life.
Reporting from Lowdown, this is Hunter Hallbaker.
My name is Rashia Shakur. I go by Shia, and I'm the president of Fitzgerald Hall Council. So the Valentine's Day at Fitz, we're having like 2 different things going on right now. One is like a crush gram, which is where you take a heart and stuff, and we'll put it on a can of crushed soda, and you send it to whoever you want. Like, it could actually be a crush, it can be like a girlfriend, boyfriend, it could even be a friend, or it can even be anonymous to who you want to send it to. We did it last year and it was like a really big hit, so we had to change it around a little bit this year, because last year we just had like a certain number of crush cans and stuff. So when people were actually still coming up asking and we had to turn them away, we said, okay, this year we'll do it again because of how great of a hit it was, but then we'll like cut it off on Wednesday. That way we can like see our numbers, see how much we need to buy, and make sure like everybody gets a chance. The funds for the crush grams and stuff, they come through Hall Council. That's why we made it free, because we said like, well, maybe people won't buy any because you're actually paying for it, to where you could actually get it yourself and deliver it yourself. So we said we'll make it free, and like they can send as many as they want. So like as residents are going to their rooms or going to go visit a friend or something, they can come to the table, and it's a like maybe a little index card and stuff, and it says why we love Fitzgerald Residence Hall, and you can just write whatever you want. Has to be appropriate though. But some people say they love their CA, some people say they love like the community there, some people say like they love the style of the dorms. Just anything to where like you love Fitz or like you like living here. I actually really do love living in Fitz. It is my second year there, so it's kind of fun. I would say the events kind of do bring the community together more, because it lets people who actually don't go out their room as much or only go to school and then come back to their room, it gives them a chance to get out, maybe meet some new people, and just like get away from everything for a little bit. I'm a huge fan of love and like romance and all that. So like being able to deliver a crush to somebody, maybe make their day, know that somebody actually does care about them or is thinking about them, it just makes my day. It makes me like happy that we're doing this for people. We tried to make it as simple as possible. Like I said earlier, we had to like make some tweaks and like some different functions to it. So now it's you write your name, or if you want to keep yourself anonymous, you can. And then you write the person you want to send it to, what building they live in, because we deliver all over campus, not just Fitzgerald. And then you would have to write their email address so we can like let them know that, hey, you have something waiting at Fitzgerald for you. If they live off campus, that's the way of like sending them an email and stuff. That's why we ask for like their like email address. So we say, hey, you have something waiting for you, or hey, even though you don't live on campus, we have a friend of yours or a significant other said something here for you.
Reporting from Lowdown, this is Hunter Hallbaker.
I'm Trey, and I'm a UCM alumni. Kobe Bryant was an NBA player for 20 years. He played for the Los Angeles Lakers, recently retired about 4 years ago, and he's going to be a future Hall of Famer in the upcoming April. Kobe was my favorite player in the NBA and probably all sports growing up. I grew up as he was like in his prime, so he was like the first big player that I was watching and kind of like a role model. His original number when he first joined the NBA was 8, and then he switched to 24 about halfway through his career. And then that's why we had the candles shaped into 8. And then the quote underneath was a quote that he said when he was getting towards the end of his career. He was just like reflecting and discussing on how he wants to be remembered. I think he'll be remembered as a really hard worker. He coined the term Mamba mentality, and that's something that I think will live on as a moment whenever a player is just extremely focused. It's channeling that Mamba mentality to work hard and overcome anything they're facing. He was such a special person in the sense he went to the NBA at the age of like 17, and almost everything he's done was kind of like borderline crazy for how hard he worked versus how much he focused, went into the gym, to the extremes where it wasn't always a positive, like hurting his team by not having a great relationship with some people. It was just polarizing, seeing someone so focused and intense at something, and usually for the better it worked out for them, but it was just a way you could like, it was just weird to watch and a big thing throughout history. Some of the stuff going around is changing like the stadium name that he played in. A lot of people think it'd be cool to change the NBA logo to a stance that he did, which that's something that I kind of would like, knowing that Jerry West, the logo before, actually doesn't want it. I think it'd be cool to have a signature move that Kobe did, like a fadeaway as the logo, just because it's never been about being the best player ever, because if it was, it wouldn't be Jerry West still. It's just how much he impacted the league. I think that'd be a cool option. I think that the best thing Nike could do for his memorabilia is just continue releasing it and release like a high amount of quality or quantity, so everyone that wants it can have a chance to buy it, so that way people aren't taking advantage of it. You can probably see that if their prices go up, if they're trying to be sneaky with it, but in reality he's never had like the most expensive shoes, so that's something that should be handled the same going forward. For his personal companies like the Mamba Academy, I hope that they have people that can really manage that and continue growing future basketball players, just because there's players already in the league that have talked about how much that meant for them growing up and how much it helped. So if they can get the right people in there to continue to keep that growing, I think that'd be great. When I think of Kobe, I think of like working hard and focusing on whatever you're trying to accomplish. And if you work hard enough, then you can accomplish it and overcome any obstacle. He talked about not taking anything for granted, which is important. And then no matter what you do, like you can be good at it naturally, but if you just continue to work harder, you can like move up if it's a job promotion, or if you're an author, you know, getting a successful book, or you can relate it to in your career and just help keep you going forward through tough times. I think the legacy is kind of like two parts. There's the early part of his career where he didn't like really have much friends. He was just extremely focused and hardworking, and that's the Mamba mentality. But then there's the growth he went through to where he started making relationships around the league, and he had friends with people, and he really, what was important for him was leaving behind something after him. He has a academy where he's training future people, and then it showed that how much he grew, and as a parent to have 4 daughters and the bond that you can have with people and affecting lives after you go.
Well, my name is Eliza Reidenhauer, and I am I'm a graduate assistant for the Student Recreation and Wellness Center, so that's like my overarching title. And then each of the GAs here at the building have a project that they oversee, or like a specific area that they do, as well as supervising the building. So I oversee the campus cupboard as like my special project. So the campus cupboard is a place that serves the students, faculty, and staff of UCM, so the UCM community really, and provides not only like food, but other products like hygiene, and sometimes just miscellaneous items as they're donated to those individuals who may have a need based on income or based on like accessibility to services. And so we serve all of the individuals of the community. It's really a resource for those who may have that need. There's a couple of different ways you can be part of the cupboard, volunteering or providing services to the cupboard. I have a lot of individuals who will either contact me directly, so a lot of times through email, and they'll talk to the student workers here and maybe express an interest in helping out, or they might have a class that requires them to get hours. So there could be a lot of different reasons people want to help out. Another way to help out is definitely by providing goods. So we have organizations that'll donate goods. So we get things from like local grocery stores that maybe they can't keep on their shelves. It's still good products or good produce, but they, by the requirements that they have to meet, cannot hold on to those goods anymore, and they don't necessarily just want to throw those away. And so that's another way that people can help out, is by donating goods, because that's for sure a majority of the things that we send out of the cupboard are things that have been donated. We have a lot of items. I think before I started working this position, I think you think food pantry and it's like, okay, food. Like that's the first thing you think of. It makes a lot of sense. But along with canned goods, which is a staple of any food pantry, I would say, and like non-perishable items, we get fresh produce a lot of times. We get bread. We have meat items that come from grocery stores. So a lot of those go into our freezer. We have hygiene items, so shampoo, conditioner, like body wash. Sometimes we have razors. Like after a recent event, we were able to get access to some like vitamins, which I hadn't had here before, and that was really neat to me because that's something that people a lot of times don't spend money on because they feel like they have to spend it elsewhere. And so we have those types of items. I know in the past sometimes we've had blankets. So we really have a hodgepodge of stuff, which is neat because you don't always need some of the items that we have food-wise, but you might need like a hygiene item, or you might need like a blanket if we have those. So it's neat because you never know what you're gonna get. So this semester and through this year, so they were the same during the fall, our operating hours have been Wednesdays and Thursdays and then Sundays, and then it's always 3:30 to 6 p.m. So those are the hours that were available for students and faculty and staff to come through, and they can bring their ID card and they swipe it in. And that's how we track our patrons, and then they have access to us once a week during those days. The environment here is it's really neat. Like I've talked about, that like unique piece of we're going to support each other when we're down, or when there's an individual who really needs like an extra hand, and has had the courage to step up and ask, because that's a huge piece of coming in here and receiving services, is really stepping up and saying like, hey, I need help. Is there something you could do for me? Because there's always that chance that somebody's gonna say no, which is really hard. And then a lot of times it's hard for people to accept help too, because we're in like a very individualized society where like we're told we should be able to take care of ourselves, and that's not always true. It's a great place where you can care for each other in a really supportive and helpful way. I've worked in other like nonprofit service agencies where you're able to get resources and see if you can find ways to meet your needs. And I think that this is a unique place in the fact that we really don't put a lot of requirements. The only requirement is that you bring in an ID card and that you're currently attending school here, or that you're currently an employee here. I don't know a lot of services that that's all they need to know, and that's it. So I think that that's a really cool way to really invite people in and offer them the opportunity that they may not take advantage of otherwise if they did have to prove some of those things, prove their income or prove their need.
So I opened the store in 2002. Although I'd worked prior to that, I was doing the eBay thing. So I was doing that for almost 2 years, buying and selling online. So I kind of had that backdrop before I even opened up the store, that I was going to be buying and selling and trading video games anyway. So it was just, the opportunity came about where I could open up the store and kind of do the same thing I was doing online, but just in a brick front location rather than just the online thing. So as far as growing up, I grew up in Sedalia, 30 minutes from here. Graduated in 1996, came up to school, went to CMSU at the time, no longer, it wasn't UCM at the time, so CMSU, graduated at CMSU in 2000, and 2 years later, opened up Rockin' Sports. So a normal day-to-day, I mean, I kind of buy, sell, trade in video games, movies, vinyl records. Like I said, when I first started, sports was a big identity. Now you can look around and not even see Rockin' Sports. So people will come in and like, I thought you were a card shop. And so I have to kind of explain it to them. Well, it's changed quite a bit over the years, and what it is now isn't what it was even just 3 or 4 years ago. vinyl records was used to be a bin. When I was like, oh, I think they're pretty cool, but I'm not sure if there's gonna be that many people that really want to have vinyl records. So I had like literally one tote. And then it's just more and more people were interested in vinyl. And now today, in 2020, there's as hot as probably anything in my store, vinyl records. So as you can see, that particular section's expanded quite a bit as compared to what it was in 2002 when I was hoping maybe I could find a customer or two that thought they were cool like I did. My number one market probably is still gonna be video games. It's hard to mix it between retro and modern. For me, I sell a lot of both. So any given day, I'm just as likely to sell a Super Nintendo or N64 game as I am an Xbox One or a Nintendo Switch game. So video games as a category is definitely my number one, followed by movies still, even though DVDs and Blu-ray are starting to trend in the downward way like CDs are. On a regular day, I'm going to sell quite a few movies as well, so that market isn't completely dying, and it's on its way out, just like a lot of other physical media, but still an active part of my business anyway. When I first opened the business, one of the main reasons I opened it up was because it was a college town. I felt like I could just, at that time I was only 23, so I was pretty much a college kid. I felt like, yeah, college kids love this stuff. Why shouldn't there be a business here in town that can supply that to them? You know, I've always been into retro gaming, so for me, opening the store to give them a place to buy old Nintendo games, like that's what I really wanted to do. I thought that, because I'd meet plenty of my college friends. When I was selling just online, they'd be like, well, can you get me a Nintendo or can you get me a Super Nintendo? This is before I even opened my store. And so I knew that there was interest there. But for sure, it helps. It helps having the college in town, both buying and selling. You know, I buy a lot from the college kids. As far as how, I'm always willing to change the store to be sustainable. Like I want to do this for a living. So like we said earlier, how I've changed the business model as the years go by, I can't tell you for sure what the trends will be in 2027. Will anybody care about DVD movies? It's trending down. Well, it'll be completely gone like the CD market is, where it's really hard to find someone who's actively looking to buy and sell CDs. Then I will change. You know, I'm willing to change the store as it goes on, just to kind of suit the needs of the customers or the trends that are there for vinyl records. They picked up in the last 5 or 6 years. You have record stores literally opening, not just closing, but actually opening up for the first time. Well, to me, that's a noticeable trend, and I'm going to expand that category a lot. So I have done that over the last couple of years, where I'm stocking new sealed records for the first time. I hadn't done that in 16 years of the store. But as kids started to want and collect records, then I felt more obligated to have a section of new sealed vinyl records. My store hours are 10 to 7, Tuesday through Saturday, closed on Sundays, Mondays. On Saturday we close early, so it's 10 to 5:30 on Saturday. I buy, sell, trade every day that I'm open.
Yeah, so Pack the Multi-Night is where the first 500 students that enter the gates, they receive a free snack along with free chips and a soft drink along with the free shirt. I have been to many of the games. I'm actually working with the sports broadcasting class, so we like film games and do like the trailer work and all that. So yeah, most of the home games I've been to. My favorite part about the basketball games is just seeing everybody in the stands, supporting everybody, and honestly working for the broadcasting classes as well. So that definitely is what I enjoy the most about it. Really know most of the players, but Gigi McAtee for the women's, we had a chemistry class together, and she's probably one of my favorite players just because I know her well and she's a good player. I enjoy not only coming to the basketball games just for the sports broadcasting class, but obviously just cheering on our teams. May seem hypocritical saying that because I really didn't go to any of the games last year or the year before. I mean, I may have went to one or two, but it's always fun going to those games and seeing people there, and definitely want to try maybe my senior year going to those games more when I'm not working for the broadcasting, or if I am. So yeah, definitely. I mean, heck, gets the students to come out more. I mean, who doesn't want like a free concession stand item or a t-shirt? So I think promotions like that really helps our school community and to expand and have people get out and support and earn some freebies.
Come to the basketball games almost every game. I'm here for almost every single basketball game. I'm part of the broadcast crew that helps stream the games online for everyone else. So I'm here, I've seen most of the basketball games this season. My favorite game to watch was when they beat Northwest here. So they were Northwest was undefeated and they had a big, undefeated streak going on, and UCM was able to just upset them and win by like 10 or something crazy. My favorite thing about the basketball games is the pep band. They're able to bring a lot of energy and hype to the multi, and it's just really fun to see them play different songs. Yeah, so I think Pack the Multi is a good event for the school to put on, because it incentivizes students to come on down and watch, because students already have a free athletic pass so they can get into all home games for free. So there's really sometimes it feels like there's no point to coming when it's just like, oh, it's free, I can just go. But when you can get something out of it, like food from the concession stand and a t-shirt, it's like, oh, let me go get this stuff and watch the game for free. So then it's like an added bonus.
I hope you enjoyed that glimpse into student life here in Warrensburg. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for now, but don't fear. The show in its entirety can be found on our KMOS TV YouTube page. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Stephen Holstein. Have a good one.